Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Blue Star, Guangwu City. Magic Martial Academy, University, Class 7. In a brightly lit classroom, dozens of students sat upright. On the podium, the class instructor, Su Yizheng, with an impressive figure, began to speak. A year ago, a miracle descended upon Blue Star. According to statistics, over 1,080,000 people from across the country were summoned to Myriad World's floating island by the power of the gods. It is undeniable that this is a path to becoming an eternal deity. Although it is dangerous, it is also full of temptation. No one knows when the next summoning will occur, so we must always be mentally prepared to be summoned. Inside the classroom, silence prevailed. The students sat upright, their expressions excited and their hearts filled with enthusiasm. To become a god, to achieve eternal life, who wouldn't want that? Su Yizheng continued, anyone who is 18 years old or older has the opportunity to be summoned to Myriad World's floating island and will also receive a random profession. The professions are divided into two categories: overlord professions and combat professions. Combat professions include knights, swordsmen, elementalists, hunters, priests, and so on. Their main task is to hunt and kill monsters on the island to level up. There is only one category for overlord professions, and that is overlord. The main task is to build territories, recruit troops, develop power, and lead armies to compete for dominance in the floating island world. However, overlord is a special profession and is extremely rare. From what I know, out of the over 1 million people summoned a year ago, there were only a little over 100 who obtained the overlord profession with a staggering ratio of 10,000 to 1. If you are lucky enough to get it, it's like finding a treasure. All the companies and families in the country are eager to cooperate with overlords, develop the floating island, and obtain resources, including our academy. As Su Yizheng's words fell, the classroom immediately erupted with discussions. Overlords are invincible. I heard there is a very popular spirit rice on the market recently. Eating it can strengthen the body, prolong life. This spirit rice is grown by overlords on the floating island. Which market? Don't ask, there isn't one. Overlords are so rare that even if they bring back the spirit rice, it's not something ordinary people can afford. Scarcity makes things valuable. The wealthy in the country don't mind spending a lot of money to buy the spirit rice. Once you become an overlord, you can make a fortune even while lying down. I've decided I must become an overlord. Not only will I grow spirit rice on the floating island, but I will also raise fat pigs and become the boss of a pig farm. Then I'll bring everything back to Blue Star and sell it. In a corner of the classroom, a young boy sat. The boy had well-defined features, a handsome face, and bright eyes. His name was Lin Yu. Listening to the discussions around him, he rolled his eyes several times. What use is it to raise fat pigs if he had the fortune of becoming an overlord? Of course, it's about recruiting troops, expanding power, and competing for dominance in Myriad World's floating island. Becoming a god and ruling over a territory, isn't that more appealing than being the boss of a pig farm? Lin Yu sighed inwardly. Who knows when the miracle will happen again? Or perhaps it will never happen. Miracles are not something ordinary people can fathom. Who knows if there will be a second summoning? Based on this, the first batch of people summoned to the island are now highly sought after, shining like stars wherever they go. In this new era, professionals are superior to ordinary people. Wait a little longer. If the miracle never appears, then I will apply to become an employee. By becoming an employee, I will have the opportunity to follow the first batch of professionals into the floating island. Regardless, I must find a way to contact that mysterious world. With that in mind, Lin Yu couldn't help but cast his gaze towards the beautiful class instructor standing on the podium. Class leader Su Yi is one of the first professionals. I heard she is an elemental mage, capable of turning a whole building into ashes with a single move of her fire sea technique. Suddenly, at this moment, a voice appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Embark on the journey of Myriad Worlds. Randomly selecting Blue Star humans to enter the floating island trial. This is not only a trial, but also a path to becoming a god. I hope the summoners will cherish this opportunity. In that instant, Lin Yu was overjoyed. The lively classroom fell silent. But soon, the students went crazy with excitement. After a year, the miracle from the myriad world's floating island appeared once again, which meant they finally had the chance to ascend to the floating island. A miracle has appeared. This summoning, I must be chosen. I want to become a professional, become an overlord, and raise pigs on the floating island. The students cheered excitedly. Class leader Su-yi did not stop them. She could understand their feelings. If she wasn't one of the first summoners, she would have been just as uncontrollable as these students. I wonder how many people will be summoned to the floating island this time, and how many will become overlords. Sui whispered with anticipation and envy. I hope this time, our academy can produce an overlord professional. On the floating island, overlord professionals were the favorites of the rules. Things like cultivating spirit rice, crafting equipment, recruiting troops, only overlord professionals were qualified. As for combat professionals, they could only fight monsters in the wilderness. No territory, no troops. If they were careless, combat professionals would end up being torn apart by monsters. On the other hand, overlord professionals were treated well everywhere. And the most hopeful ones to become gods were the overlord professionals. After a few seconds, brilliant beams of light suddenly appeared on the classroom ceiling. There were a total of 7 beams. Each enveloped a student, meaning these 7 students were the lucky ones chosen to enter the myriad world's floating island. As for the others, they missed their chance. The number this time seems a bit high. Class leader Sui was somewhat astonished, but quickly said to the 7 chosen students, after entering the floating island, check the energy imprint on your bodies. If it's full, you can travel between the floating island and Blue Star. And remember, safety first on the floating island. Her gaze quickly swept over the chosen 7 students. Among them, Lin Yu was unexpectedly one of them. However, before she could say anything else, including Lin Yu, the 7 students disappeared into the brilliant beams of light. The remaining students in the classroom were all expressionless. Some even broke down on the spot, crying out loud. Once again, they missed the opportunity to become professionals. Welcome to Myriad World's floating island. Current floating island, ownerless, unnamed, number 014965. Randomly assigning profession for you? Congratulations, you have obtained the profession, Overlord. Synchronously activating the basic skill of Overlord, Aura of the Leader. Aura of the Leader, passive skill. As someone who possesses Aura of the Leader, you will find it easier to recruit units, professions, and neutral creatures, and their loyalty will continuously increase. Congratulations, you have obtained a territory. Your territory is currently a low-level village. Hint: as an overlord, developing your territory is your core task. Issuing main quest dash. Quest content: as an overlord, your life goal should be to conquer myriad worlds. However, before that, your task is to conquer the current floating island and become its ruler. Quest deadline: none. Quest reward: unknown. So I've become an overlord? Just as Lin Yu arrived on the floating island, he hadn't had a chance to examine the surroundings when a series of prompt sounds directly stunned him. Obtaining the profession of overlord was too sudden. It caught him off guard. It felt like a surprise hit by a pie in the face. After all, the number of overlords was extremely small, and the probability of obtaining the profession was very low. No different from winning the lottery. At this moment, Lin Yu was standing in front of a 2-story building. Behind him was an open plain. Not far away stood 3 wooden houses. Further away was a lush jungle, with occasional sounds of unknown creatures echoing from within. It looks just like what was leaked on the profession forum. This is what the initial territory looks like for an overlord. The task of an overlord is to develop and strengthen the territory, upgrading it from a village to a town, city, and even a kingdom. The higher the level of the territory, the stronger the influence. It is said that after raising the level of the territory to a certain stage, You can even establish a kingdom and become a king. Lin Yu couldn't resist the excitement in his heart. A king. Tell me, which man doesn't want to reign and dominate? This is the temptation of power that cannot be resisted. And becoming an overlord is the first step in gaining power and strength. It's not an exaggeration to say that he's already soaring high. The class instructor mentioned, if you're lucky enough to become an overlord, the first thing you should do is recruit units. Thinking of this, Lin Yu quickly walked towards the two-story building. This building, called the Hall of the Overlord, as leaked on the forum, is the core of the territory and the place to recruit exclusive units. In the early stages of descending to the floating island, an overlord has no self-defense capabilities. Combat professions like knights, swordsmen, and elementalists come with combat skills specific to their profession, such as knight swordsmanship, swordsman's three-strike combo, fireball spells, and so on. With these skills, combat professions can kill monsters in the wilderness. On the other hand, overlords come with the skill aura of the leader, which has no damage output. Whether it's protecting oneself or hunting monsters in the wilderness, overlords need to have units, so recruiting units is the top priority for an overlord. There are various types of units: dragon race, giants, slimes, humans, elves, goblins, and so on. But there are only 4 levels of units: low level, middle level, high level, and apex level units. The higher the level of the unit, the greater its potential. For example, the Dragon Race unit is universally recognized as an apex level unit, with a growth potential of at least Saint rank. Furthermore, the units in the territory are also random. If you're lucky, you'll randomly get high level or apex level units. If you're unlucky, you'll start with low level units. I wonder what kind of troops I will have in my territory. I just hope it's not a low level troop. After entering the Hall of the Overlord, Lin Yu silently murmured in his heart, "Recruit troops." Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind. It was the prompt sound from the myriad world's floating island. Cold and mechanical. Randomly assigning exclusive troops for your territory. Random assignment complete. You have activated the following troops: goblins, dwarven riflemen, dragon knights, titans, angels, unique. Respected overlord, you need to choose one of the 5 troops above as the exclusive troop for your territory. The exclusive troop will accompany you for life and cannot be changed once selected. Please choose carefully. Looking at the prompt message in his mind, Lin Yu was instantly stunned. According to common sense, there should only be one randomly assigned exclusive troop. What it is what it is, with no choice. Only a few lucky individuals would randomly receive 2 or 3 exclusive troops to choose from. And he unexpectedly received a total of 5 exclusive troops for his territory. No one would believe it if he were to tell others. What's more, besides goblins and dwarven riflemen being low-level and middle-level troops, the other 3 were all apex-level troops. What kind of heaven-defying luck is this? If he were to post a screenshot on the forum, it would surely make all the overlords on Blue Star envious. Based on the information revealed so far, among the over 100 overlords on Blue Star, the exclusive troops they possess are mostly low-level and middle-level troops, with few instances of high-level troops. As for apex-level troops, there hasn't been any news of an overlord obtaining them. And he randomly obtained 3 apex-level troops. It's like smoke rising from ancestral graves. Dragon knights, titans, angels. I want all 3 troops. Unfortunately, I can only choose one. In that instant, Lin Yu felt his heart bleeding. After careful consideration, Lin Yu ultimately chose the last troop, angels. He eliminated the dragon knights, leaving only the titans and angels. Compared to the titan troop, the angel troop had an additional, unique remark. He didn't know what unique specifically meant, but he could imagine that the angel troop should be more special than the titan troop. So, choosing this one should be the right decision. Congratulations, respected overlord. You have obtained the exclusive troop for your territory, angels. Now, you can spend gold coins to recruit the angel troop. Recruitment requirements: 2-winged angel, 50 gold coins. Four-winged angel, 200 gold coins, unlocks middle-level villages. Six-winged angel, 1,000 gold coins, unlocks high-level villages. Eight-winged angel. Note: when recruiting six-winged angels and higher-ranked angels, there is a chance to recruit special angels. The recruitment probability increases with the level of your territory. It truly is an exclusive, unique Apex-level troop. It's really expensive. Looking at the recruitment menu in front of him, Lin Yu felt a toothache. The higher the level of the troop, the more gold coins it would cost to recruit. Low-level troops, 5 gold coins per unit. Middle-level troops, 10 gold coins per unit. High-level troops, 30 gold coins per unit. Apex-level troops, 50 gold coins per unit. In other words, recruiting one Apex-level troop would cost the same as recruiting 10 low-level troops. Expensive, that is the drawback of Apex-level troops being unique. Lin Yu silently recited in his heart and opened his personal information panel. Suddenly, an illusionary panel appeared in his field of vision. Lin Yu. Occupation: Overlord. Level: Level 0 mortal. Reputation points: 0. Territory: low-level village, unnamed. Exclusive unit: Angel, unique. Gold coins owned: 100. Newbie Overlord gift. Fortunately, the newbie benefit for overlords is 100 gold coins. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to recruit any units. The newbie benefit for combat-oriented occupations is a weapon specific to that occupation, such as a knight's greatsword, an elemental mage's magic staff, or a hunter's bow and arrows. The weapon benefit provides combat-oriented occupations with the much-needed help in killing monsters. On the other hand, the newbie benefit for overlords is 100 gold coins. As overlords themselves are not skilled in combat and their main role is to recruit units and develop territories, it is reasonable for the floating island to gift them 100 gold coins. 100 gold coins. If it were a low-level unit, I could recruit 20 of them. But my angel unit is an Apex-level unit, and recruiting even the weakest two-winged angel requires 50 gold coins. 100 gold coins are only enough to recruit 2. When it comes to the issue of unit prices, Lin Yu couldn't help but envy those overlords who have low-level units. It's because they are cheap. Under the same resources, the scale of a low-level overlord's units will be 10 times that of an Apex-level overlord, allowing them to quickly establish an army. As for how much combat power they have, that's another matter. Without hesitation, Lin Yu immediately chose to recruit. He spent all 100 gold coins. Without any hesitation. Almost at the same time, a black hole appeared in the center of the Hall of the Overlord. After a moment, 2 figures emitting white light flew out of the black hole. Both were female angels. Golden long hair, tall figures, and flawless faces. They were all dressed in a set of silver-white armor and held a matching angel sword. They exuded an incomparably noble and sacred temperament, giving people a feeling of untouchability. As expected, behind them, Lin Yu saw 2 snow-white wings. A pair of angel wings, the symbol of a two-winged angel. Greetings, Lord Overlord. Flying out of the black hole, the 2 beautiful angels bowed to Lin Yu, their expressions filled with respect. As the overlord who recruited them, Lin Yu would naturally receive their loyalty. There was no doubt about that. No need for formalities. Lin Yu took a deep breath. His gaze swept over the beautiful and delicate faces of the 2 angels, and he opened their information panels to check. Two-winged angel. Initial level, level 5. Growth potential, demigod. Possesses battle skills, holy cross sword, light slash, angelic holy flame. Note: two-winged angels belonging to the Orthodox faction are the most common and lowest-ranked warriors among the angelic race. They possess unwavering faith and loyalty to the Overlord. The information about the 2 angels is the same. There is no difference in terms of level, growth potential, or combat skills. This is probably the standard template for two-winged angels. If recruiting 4-winged angels, 6-winged angels, or even angels with more wings, their template information will certainly be different. Initial level, level 5. Growth potential, demigod. They truly deserve to be Apex-level units, So powerful. Lin Yu was sincerely amazed. On the Blue Star Professional Forum, the Overlord had revealed some information about units. The cheapest low-level units have an initial level of 1 and a growth potential limit of no more than level 9. Middle-level units have an initial level of 2 and a growth potential limit of no more than king level. High-level units have an initial level of 3 and a growth potential limit of no more than transcendent level. As for apex-level units, there is no definitive information yet. Because among the first batch of summoned humans, there was no mention of any Overlord professional randomly obtaining an apex-level unit, so there was naturally no data released. We can only speculate. The initial level of apex-level units should be level 4, and their growth potential limit should not exceed Sacred Domain. As for the power levels of Myriad Worlds Floating Island, they range from level 1 to level 9, King level, Transcendent, Sacred Domain, Demigod, and the Eternal True God. Just by looking at the information panel, it is clear that Lin Yu's angel is stronger than an apex-level unit, surpassing it by 1 level. And this is just a 2-winged angel. If it were a 4-winged angel, 6-winged angel, or even a higher-ranked 12-winged angel, how exaggerated would their initial level and growth potential limit be? This might be the strength of unique units. Apart from this, Lin Yu couldn't find any other reasonable explanation. After all, among the 3 apex-level units randomly obtained before, only the angel was labeled as unique, while the Dragon Knight unit and Titan unit did not have this aura. This indirectly indicates that unique units are stronger. They even surpass apex-level units. Thinking of this, Lin Yu's heart was suddenly filled with excitement. Not only did he become an Overlord professional, but he also randomly obtained a unique unit that is even stronger than an apex-level unit. He could now show off his prowess. Lin Yu turned his gaze to the 2 beautiful and charming angels and asked, "What are your names?" The 2 winged angels said in unison, "Please bestow us with names, Lord Overlord." No names? Lin Yu fell silent. Naming them number 1 and number 2 would be too cliché, right? After thinking for a moment, he said, "From now on, your names will be Aida and Sally." Praise Lord Overlord. Aida and Sally immediately saluted excitedly. It seemed that being given names by Lin Yu was a great honor. However, Lin Yu didn't think much about it and immediately ordered, "As the territory is being established, we need a large amount of resources. The 2 of you will go out together to hunt and kill monsters in the wilderness. It is Aida's, Sally's, honor to serve Lord Overlord." Without hesitation, the 2 winged angels immediately flapped their snow-white angel wings behind them and flew out of the hall of the Overlord, then straight out of the territory. Their flying speed was so fast, like a white light. This directly caused Lin Yu to hold back his words of "stay safe." A super apex level unit with a level of 5, mastery of 3 combat skills, and the ability to fly should have no problem. As for me, I am still a level 0 mortal. It would be better for me not to accompany them and hinder their progress. Lin Yu was very self-aware and chose not to be a burden. He stayed alone in the hall of the Overlord, waiting for news. To his surprise, within a few minutes, the floating island sent a series of kill notifications. Your angel Aida has killed a level 1 wild boar. As Aida's Overlord, you also receive a small reward of primal power. Your angel Sally has killed a level 1 wild boar. Your angel Aida has killed a level 2 wild boar. Your angel Sally has killed a level 2 wild boar and obtained a gold coin. Your angel? A series of information prompts appear. In just a short moment, Aida and Sally have killed over 20 different level wild boars, showcasing their formidable combat abilities. As a level 5 super apex level unit, it is very easy for them to kill low-level monsters. At the same time, Lin Yu has also received many rewards of primal power. If we compare Myriad Worlds Floating Island to a game world, then the primal power obtained from killing monsters is equivalent to experience points, which can help units, overlords, and professionals level up. As an overlord, Lin Yu does not need to personally kill enemies like combat professionals. Units are the weapons of the overlord. When units kill enemies, the overlord can also share in the rewards of primal power. From this, We can see how important units are to an overlord, as they are the core elements of an overlord's growth and the development of their territory. I can feel it. As long as Aida and Sally kill a few more wild boars, I can level up. Floating Island is a real world, without an experience bar. However, Lin Yu can sense their own leveling progress, which is the talent bestowed upon professionals by the Floating Island. I killed over 20 level 1 and level 2 wild boars, but only obtained 2 gold coins. And there were no other drops. This indicates that the drop rate of items from monsters on the Floating Island is very low. Furthermore, both gold coins were obtained from killing level 2 wild boars. Obviously, the higher the level of the monster, the higher the drop rate of gold coins and other items. Through this information, Lin Yu gains a deeper understanding of the Floating Island. As time passes, the notifications of kills continue to appear in Lin Yu's mind without interruption. The monsters killed by Aida and Sally are no longer just wild boars. A small number of wolves and other monsters begin to appear. Ordinary wolves are level 3 monsters. Elite wolves are level 4 monsters. However, they are no match for Aida and Sally. Based on the frequency of the kill notifications, Lin Yu can deduce that Aida and Sally can easily handle level 4 elite wolves as well. Suddenly, a surge of heat erupts in Lin Yu's lower abdomen. Soon, this surge of heat spreads throughout Lin Yu's body, centered in their lower abdomen. At this moment, Lin Yu clearly feels their physical qualities have been enhanced. Their hands are stronger, they can jump higher, see farther, and more clearly. They have leveled up. From being a level 0 ordinary person, they have leveled up to become a level 1 professional. From this moment on, Lin Yu truly sets foot on the path of a professional, advancing towards the goal of becoming a god. It took nearly 2 hours to level up. This speed should be considered fast. Lin Yu pays attention to their leveling speed in order to surpass other overlords and become the fastest growing and strongest among all overlords. This is because the main task given to overlords by Myriad World's Floating Island is to conquer the current Floating Island and become its ruler. The Floating Island where Lin Yu is located is ownerless and has no name. It is only identified by the number 014965. He didn't know exactly how many overlords there were on this island, but like all overlords, his mission was to defeat other overlords and conquer this Floating Island to become the ruler of the island. Once he became the island lord, he could freely control all the resources on the island. But to become the island lord, strength was essential. Therefore, Lin Yu had to grow as quickly as possible, become the most powerful overlord, and avoid being defeated by other overlords in future battles for the island. While Aida and Sally were hunting diligently, Lin Yu was wandering around in his territory. There was nothing particularly interesting about the 3 small wooden houses, but he was mainly looking at the spiritual fields near his territory. Spiritual fields were places where spiritual rice was grown. The spiritual rice produced not only provided the basic food supply for the troops in the territory, but could also be sold for blue stars, and it was in high demand. The reason was simple. Consuming spiritual rice could indeed enhance one's physical fitness. It was said that some wealthy people on the Blue Star even relied on long-term consumption of spiritual rice to reach the level of a first-class professional, and then they were exceptions to be accepted as professionals on the Myriad World's Floating Island. Of course, this was just a rumor. Lin Yu didn't know if it was true or not. But this also led to countless people on the Blue Star coveting spiritual rice, and wealthy people didn't mind paying a huge price to buy spiritual rice from overlords. So, once becoming an overlord, getting rich was a simple matter. Outside the territory, Lin Yu saw his spiritual field. It was a square shape, about 100 meters long and wide. The entire spiritual field was covered in a soft white light. When Lin Yu looked over, the information about the spiritual field was revealed. Spiritual field. Level 1. Special attribute. None. Upgrade requirement. 200 gold coins. Note: a level 1 spiritual field can only grow level 1 crops, including but not limited to grains, demon plants, magic herbs, etc. Besides spiritual rice, Overlord's spiritual fields can also grow demon plants, magic herbs, and other crops. But it seems that spiritual rice, as a grain, should be quite ordinary. Although I haven't heard of demon plants and magic herbs before, I think these two types of crops are more high-level than spiritual rice and have a lower drop rate. Myriad World's floating island has no recharge function or mall. If professionals want to obtain items, they can only trade with other professionals or rely on monster drops. Crop seeds, professional equipment, and territory construction blueprints can all be obtained by killing monsters in the wild. Let's see what's on the trading platform. As he spoke, Lin Yu raised his right hand. There was a red mark on his right wrist. This was the mark of a professional. On the left side of the mark, there was an energy progress bar showing 3.4%. When the progress bar was full, professionals could return to the blue star by activating the mark. The way to obtain energy was to kill enemies on the floating island, including but not limited to monsters in the wild. Then, Lin Yu reached out and touched the red mark. A row of virtual buttons appeared in his field of vision, including Island Chat Channel, Professional Trading Platform, Glory Contribution Ranking, Friend Channel, and so on. In addition, there were Myriad Worlds Chat Channel, Myriad Worlds Trading Platform, and so on, but these functions had not been activated yet. When Lin Yu became strong enough, he would be able to unlock these functions and communicate with the Myriad Worlds. Open Island Trading Platform. At first glance, there are only a few items on the shelves, such as spring water, firewood, iron ore, stone, and so on, all of which are very ordinary things. Items like spirit rice, demon plants, and seeds for magic potions that Lin Yu needs are not being sold on the platform. As for blueprints and equipment, there are none at all. This indicates a problem. There are no veteran professionals on this island. They are all newcomers. Otherwise, even if there are no seeds for demon plants and magic potions, seeds for ordinary crops should still be available. The professionals who were summoned a year ago must be on other floating islands. This is good news. It means that newcomers will not be subjected to the oppression of veteran professionals for the time being. Regardless, veteran professionals have had a whole year to grow, so their levels and abilities are very high. Newcomers who have just arrived on the floating island are no match for veteran professionals. Moreover, if there are veteran overlord professionals on the island, the future battle for the island will undoubtedly become more difficult, which is unfair to the new overlords. But now, it's different. The island is full of newcomers. All professionals are starting from the same starting line. This is fair. Realizing this, Lin Yu's mood is quite good. As someone aspiring to become the ruler of an island, he naturally doesn't want to encounter a veteran overlord with a massive army while still in the early stages of growth. Even if there's going to be a fight, he needs a transitional period for growth. Afterward, Lin Yu closes the island trading platform and opens the nearby chat channel. At this moment, the chat channel is extremely lively. Countless professionals are sending messages in the channel. In the blink of an eye, there are hundreds of messages. It's clear that the new professionals on the island are very excited, especially those who have obtained the overlord profession. They are ecstatic as if they've won the lottery. Ha ha ha, brothers, I randomly got the overlord profession. Come congratulate me. Damn, another overlord. Envious. My profession is a knight, destined to only be a follower of the overlord profession. At least a knight is a combat type. I randomly got the priest profession. Besides healing, I'm useless. Everyone should be more open-minded. No matter what profession you randomly get, it's all the same. Everyone has the opportunity to become a god. Brother above, what profession are you? Your mindset is so good. My profession is average, just a small overlord. Also, my unit is a skeleton swordsman, a middle-level unit. Get lost. On another note, it seems like there are quite a few people who randomly got the overlord profession this time, probably not less than 1,000. That's because the number of people summoned to the floating island has increased. I estimate that this time, at least tens of millions of people have been summoned to Myriad World's floating island. So many people? Last year, it seemed like there were only a few million people summoned. Brother above, how did you estimate that? What's your basis? Do you have other sources of information? I rely on my intuition. Then it's just a blind estimate. By the way, are there any noble overlords who can reveal their exclusive units and let us combat professionals have a look? No need to reveal, they are mostly low-level and middle-level units. Not necessarily, my unit is an Earth Dragon, definitely a high-level unit. Capture the Overlord. Sorry, mine is the Apex level unit, Golden Behemoth, invincible in land warfare. Also, I just established the Professional Alliance Hall of Kings. Professional individuals with dreams and ambitions can join our alliance, and together we will compete for dominance in the myriad world's floating island. Damn, Apex level unit. I actually randomly obtained the Apex level unit, Golden Behemoth. What kind of heaven-defying luck is this? This is the true Overlord. The chat channel immediately erupted. Since records began, this is the first Overlord to randomly obtain an Apex level unit. Once this news reaches the Blue Star, it will definitely cause a sensation worldwide. Not to mention the rush of cooperative guilds, even national-level weapons will not be able to sit still. Because the myriad world's floating island has become the future of the Blue Star's development. An Overlord with an Apex-level unit on the myriad world's floating island will most likely become the ruler of an island in the future, or even a dominant force. Which faction wouldn't want such talent? Anyone who can team up with this Apex-level Overlord will be given money, women, and resources. No one will doubt the growth potential of this Apex-level Overlord. A true Overlord indeed. Not only did they randomly obtain an Apex-level unit, but they also immediately established a professional alliance. They have luck, means, and foresight. They will definitely achieve great things in the future. Who knows, in the future, the owner of this floating island might be you, the Overlord. Overlord, I am also an Overlord professional. I have already applied to join your alliance, Hall of Kings. Please approve my request. I've joined too. Count me in. Following the Apex level Overlord, the future is boundless. Soon, a large number of professionals joined the alliance, Hall of Kings, in a short period of time. At the same time, many new alliances were established. The number of members in Hall of Kings almost surpassed the total of all other alliances. This is the charisma of an Apex-level Overlord. The number of members has already exceeded 100,000 so quickly? So exciting! With the Apex-level unit, Golden Behemoth, in the largest alliance on the island, I will definitely become the ultimate victor in the future battle for the island. On a vast grassland on the floating island, an ordinary-looking young man stood in his village-level territory, laughing excitedly. The position of the island owner belongs to no one but me. The young man's expression was full of arrogance. As the one and only Apex-level Overlord, he was fully qualified to be arrogant. Confidence is one thing, but the development of the territory must not be neglected. Only when I become the fastest developing and most powerful Overlord on the island will those professionals in the Alliance truly respect me. If the territory doesn't develop, not to mention respect, it's possible to be devoured by some professionals with ulterior motives. Thinking of this, the young man became even more cautious. He immediately ordered the two resting golden behemoths nearby to continue hunting. These two golden behemoths were all over 10 meters tall, completely golden, and their muscles were extremely strong, giving off a strong sense of oppression. Upon receiving the order, the two golden behemoths did not hesitate and quickly left the territory to hunt. In 2 or 3 hours at most, I can advance to the first level and become a true professional. Such a speed of advancement is unprecedented. I can only say that the Golden Behemoth truly deserves to be an Apex-level unit. The young man watched the backs of the two Golden Behemoths as they went further away, unable to help but grin. Outside the territory, Lin Yu calmly closed the island chat channel. When he learned that an Apex-level Overlord had randomly obtained an Apex-level unit, he wasn't surprised. In this vast world, there are always people like him who have been favored by the goddess of luck. Finally, an Apex-level Overlord has appeared. And it's a capable Apex-level Overlord who established an alliance at the beginning and recruited a large number of professionals through the appeal of Apex-level units. Despite this, Lin Yu remained calm and unaffected. The appearance of the golden behemoth overlord only brought one effect, which was to give him more motivation to move forward, nothing more. After all, his unit, the angel, is a mythic-level creature, a unique exclusive unit. How could it be compared to the golden behemoth? When he has a million angel army, he is confident that he can sweep through with this golden behemoth overlord and his alliance, the Hall of Kings. Lin Yu didn't think about it anymore. He turned around and returned to his territory. He did want to plant some crops in the spiritual field, but unfortunately, he didn't have any crop seeds in his hands, and there was no one selling them on the platform, so he could only hope that the two beautiful angels would drop some while killing monsters. The time came to the afternoon. Aida and Sally had been hunting for several hours. The number of monsters they had killed had reached over 300. The main reason for the time consumption was searching for monsters. If there were a continuous supply of monsters for them to kill, they could kill even more. Lin Yu was ready to call them back to the territory. Communication between overlords and units can be achieved through telepathy, without the need for face-to-face commands. The purpose of recalling the two angels was to let them rest and to use the gold coins they had collected to summon new angels. Just at this moment, there was suddenly a sound of hey yo, outside the territory. The sound came closer from afar, obviously heading towards the territory. Lin Yu immediately went to the entrance of the Hall of the Overlord and looked into the distance. He wasn't worried that enemies were invading his territory, because an overlord had once revealed on the professional forum that the territory generally wouldn't be actively attacked by floating island monsters before it upgraded to a town. This was a hidden protective measure of the floating island for overlord professionals. It wouldn't let overlords perish in the early stages. It's Aida and Sally. Following the sound, Lin Yu immediately saw his two angels. They flapped their snow-white angel wings, flying in midair, emitting a holy white light, appearing extremely beautiful and eye-catching against the backdrop of the greenery. However, the shouting wasn't coming from Aida and Sally. It was from a group of green-skinned creatures following behind them. The green-skinned creatures were very thin and small, with extremely strange appearances, like little demons that had come out of a movie. There were about 60 or 70 of these green-skinned creatures. Two formed a group. Each group of green-skinned creatures carried the corpse of a monster. When they move forward, their actions are uniform and disciplined, as if they had been trained. The hey yo sound also comes from their mouths. When they approach the territory, their information also appears in Lin Yu's field of vision. Common Goblin. Introduction. Low-level intelligent creatures on the floating island, individually weak but extremely greedy. They make a living by hunting and robbing. Level 2. Growth potential limit, level 5. Special reminder, do not provoke goblins if you are not strong enough, otherwise you may become a delicacy on their dinner table. Goblin Warrior. Introduction. Level 3. Growth potential limit, level 7. These goblins, truly evil creatures. Lin Yu frowned and looked at Aida and Sally flying in the air. The two-winged angels were easy to distinguish. Aida had a tall and curvaceous figure with very alluring curves. On the other hand, the angel Sally was relatively petite, exuding an elf-like cuteness. Of course, this was not important. He was just puzzled about why Aida and Sally brought back so many goblins. Were they simply going to make them do the labor of moving monster corpses? In his opinion, these goblins should be killed for their gold coins. In the eyes of professionals, the intelligent creatures on the floating island were also considered monsters. Lord Overlord. With a gust of wind, Aida and Sally descended from the sky and appeared in front of Lin Yu. As for the goblins, they obediently piled up the monster corpses in the nearby square and then gathered together, kneeling towards Lin Yu. There was no noise, no panic, and no goblins trying to escape. They were like a group of tamed pets, very obedient. Lin Yu asked in confusion, Aida, what's the matter with these goblins? Aida respectfully replied, reporting to Lord Overlord, under the guidance of faith, these humble, intelligent creatures have become followers of the holy light. Whose followers? Lin Yu frowned again. As the overlord, he did not want any so-called followers in his territory. Even the angels he recruited should not believe in other deities. Otherwise, his authority as the overlord would be greatly affected. However, what surprised Lin Yu was that after he finished speaking, Aida raised her golden eyes and looked at him with immense reverence, saying, "Of course, they are your followers. Lord Overlord, you are the supreme Lord of holy light, the origin of divine and light faith. These weak creatures, including us, believe in you and are loyal to you." Lin Yu's expression was stunned. When did he become the Lord of holy light? Could it be because he summoned angels? And the angels were a unique type of unit, so he indirectly became the god of faith for the angels? It seems that this is the only reason that can explain it. The Lord of holy light, the origin of divine faith. This title is quite impressive. Unfortunately, I am only a first-level professional, so being given such a title is a bit embarrassing. If I were an eternal true god, that would be impressive. But no matter what, this is good news. At least I don't have to worry about conflicts between the Overlord's authority and divine authority. Previously, Lin Yu thought that the Lord of Holy Light, the object of angelic faith, was some deity. Naturally, he was worried about who these angels he summoned would obey when conflicts arose between the Overlord's authority and divine authority. Now he knows that he is the one who is the object of angelic faith. So there is nothing to worry about. Seeing Lin Yu looking at the goblins gathered in the distance, Aida quickly explained, "Lord Overlord, under the purification of the holy flame, these humble creatures have become your fanatical followers. They may be weak, but they still have some use at this stage. As their god of faith, you can command them to do anything." Aida said that she and Sally used the angelic holy flame to purify the souls of these goblins, forcibly making them believe in Lin Yu while also raising their level of faith to the fanatical level. Faith is loyalty. Fanatical level of believers means that these goblins will be completely loyal to Lin Yu. Even if they were asked to die, they would gladly do so. Then Aida said, the faith power provided by these goblins can also increase the probability of Lord Overlord becoming a god in the future. Lin Yu was still immersed in the question of whether the angelic holy flame could purify souls and spread faith. Upon hearing this, he immediately asked, "Is faith related to becoming a god?" "Yes, Lord Overlord." Aida respectfully said, "Faith is a shortcut to becoming a deity, simpler than comprehending the laws. The more followers you have and the higher their level of faith, the greater the probability of you becoming a god." Lin Yu's heart was excited. Becoming an eternal deity was his dream. It was also the goal that countless professionals strive for. Now that he unexpectedly discovered the path to becoming a god, how could he not be happy? At this moment, he suddenly asked, "You just mentioned comprehending the laws to become a god. Does that mean that there are at least two types of deities in the world, one being the god of faith and the other being the law god?" Wise Lord Overlord. Aida timely flattered. Lin Yu asked again, "So, compared to the god of faith, which type of deity, the law god or the god of faith, is stronger?" Aida explained, "The strength of the god of faith depends on the number of followers. When you have an infinite number of followers, you will be the most powerful deity in the myriad worlds of the universe." Lin Yu understood. Few followers, weak god of faith. Many followers, strong god of faith. No wonder at the beginning, his angels spread faith for him and developed followers. They were helping him build his future. Thinking of this, his gaze towards Aida and Sally suddenly became fiery. Indeed, his choice was correct. From any perspective, angels are the perfect troops. Lin Yu said, "Since that's the case, let these goblins stay. Select a team of level 3 goblin warriors to remain in the territory, and the rest will accompany you and assist you in battle." "Understood, Lord Overlord." Aida bowed respectfully once again. Not far away, the goblins gathered together and, upon hearing Lin Yu's words, immediately knelt down in excitement, praising, "Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light. Your divine radiance will surely illuminate the myriad worlds." Such words of praise made Lin Yu's embarrassment almost unbearable. But obviously, there was no way to correct it. Because in the eyes of these goblins, he was the supreme lord of holy light, an almost godlike existence. This is faith, an incredibly evil and terrifying power that can distort the mind. However, when faith is held in one's own hands, Lin Yu feels a sense of satisfaction, as if constantly bringing him an inexplicable pleasure. No rest? Lin Yu raised an eyebrow and looked at the sexy and beautiful Aida. The cute and petite Sally stood by her side. The two angels had just returned and were already preparing to go out hunting again, leaving no time for rest. Aida respectfully said, "Reporting to the Lord of the territory, the faith in the holy light provides us angels with a continuous source of power, and ordinary battles do not make us feel tired." "Then at least eat something." Lin Yu spoke again. Aida said, "Lord Overlord, you don't have to worry about us starving. Although we appear to be flesh and blood, we are actually spiritual beings, and the elemental magic power in the world is our food." Lin Yu was speechless. Once again, he couldn't help but feel that angels were truly unbeatable. Not only were they perfect in every aspect, but they also didn't need to rest or eat. They were like perpetual motion machines. Lin Yu said, "Then wait a moment, I'll recruit another round." "Understood, as you command." Aida and Sally respectfully obeyed, and together with Lin Yu, they entered the Hall of the Overlord. After arriving at the Hall of the Overlord, Lin Yu said to Aida and Sally, "The gold coins you obtain from killing monsters are the medium for summoning angels. The more gold coins you collect, the more and stronger angels I can summon." "Is that so?" Aida and Sally's eyes lit up, revealing a strong desire for gold coins. With just one sentence from Lin Yu, Aida and Sally became even greedier for gold coins than the rumored dragons, because the gold coins were related to the great revival of their angelic race in this world. Lin Yu nodded slightly and said, "During this hunting trip, you collected a total of 86 gold coins, enough to summon a two-winged angel. During this hunt, Aida and Sally killed over 300 wild monsters, but they only obtained 87 gold coins. And besides gold coins, they didn't obtain any other items such as equipment, blueprints, or seeds. It can be imagined how low the drop rate on the floating island is. It seems that if you want to obtain a large number of gold coins, you can only attack the monster strongholds. There are two types of monsters on the floating island of myriad worlds. One type is beast-like monsters, such as wild boars and wolves, with low intelligence. The other type of monster is intelligent creatures, like goblins. Generally, intelligent creatures have strongholds or tribes. There was once an overlord who leaked information on the professional forum. If one can capture the strongholds guarded by intelligent creatures, not only can they obtain a large amount of gold coins, but also various resources and even architectural blueprints. But to capture a stronghold, one must have strength. Only with strength can one do what they want. Lin Yu did not hesitate and immediately began a new summoning. Soon, the iconic black hole appeared in the middle of the hall. After a moment, a figure emitting a holy light flew out from the black hole. This figure was as beautiful as Aida and Sally. She had a flawless angelic face, a tall and slender figure, silver long hair draped over her shoulders, and she wore a silver-white angelic armor. She also had a pair of snow-white angel wings on her back. After leaving the black hole, this holy and beautiful angel came before Lin Yu and respectfully bowed without hesitation. "Praise to you, esteemed overlord. Thank you for summoning me and giving me a new life. I will follow you until eternity, even if it means sacrificing my life." "Very good." Lin Yu smiled and casually opened her information template to check. Nothing unexpected happened. This two-winged angel's information template was the same as Aida and Sally's, starting at level 5 and with a potential limit of demigod. Lin Yu actually wanted to summon a higher-ranked 4-winged angel or even a 6-winged angel. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough gold coins. He was too poor. Lin Yu said to the angel in front of him, "From now on, your name is Vina." "Yes, overlord." Angel Vina said excitedly, "It is Vina's honor to receive your bestowed name." Lin Yu calmly accepted the angel's flattery. Having heard similar words many times, it seemed that it was no longer awkward. "Vina, you will team up with Aida and Sally to go outside the territory to hunt and collect loot while also leveling up yourselves. Killing monsters can also level up the troops. After a monster is killed, the origin power rewarded by the floating island will be divided into two parts. One part belongs to the troops. The other part belongs to the overlord. When a single troop kills an enemy, the reward obtained by the overlord is minimal. But that doesn't matter, because the overlord has more than one troop. When the number of troops increases, the accumulated origin rewards become substantial, even terrifying. This is also one of the fundamental reasons why the overlord only needs to continuously recruit troops and expand the legion to rapidly level up. Yes, overlord. Without delay, the three two-winged angels formed a small team and left the territory directly. Accompanying them were over 20 goblins. The task of these goblins was to assist the angel team, such as transporting the corpses of the hunted monsters back to the territory. After they left, there were less than 10 goblins left in the territory. All of them were level 3 goblin warriors. As for the other goblins, there were over 60 goblins in total. They had already left the territory long ago with the task of bringing back the monster corpses hunted by Aida and Sally. The bodies of monsters still have some use. After decomposition, edible beast meat and a few valuable monster materials can be obtained. At this moment, the goblin warriors who stayed in the territory were decomposing the monster bodies piled up in the square. Soon, there were many pieces of beast meat, beast skins, and other items piled up on the side. When it was noon, Lin Yu waved and called a goblin warrior. The goblin warrior knelt directly in front of Lin Yu, with his forehead pressed tightly against the ground, appearing very devout. "Great Lord of Holy Light, may I ask what your orders are?" Lin Yu said, "I'm a little hungry. Roast some beast meat for me to eat?" "Understood. I will obey your orders." The goblin warrior quickly got up and went to roast the meat. Seeing this scene, the other goblin warriors showed envy. Being able to roast meat for the god of faith, what a glorious thing it was. It must be said that goblins are quite resourceful when it comes to solving the problem of food and clothing. They somehow found dry firewood and tinder, and quickly obtained a source of fire by drilling wood. Then they piled up firewood, skewered the beast meat, all in one go. Half an hour later, a wooden plate of golden and oily beast meat was respectfully handed to Lin Yu by the goblin warrior. Lin Yu wasn't afraid of it being poisoned, so he took it and started eating. The goblin's fanatical belief in Lin Yu was not something Aida casually mentioned. Lin Yu could feel it himself. Between him and these goblins, there was an invisible thread connecting them. Mysterious energy entered Lin Yu's body through these threads. After inquiring with Myriad World's floating island, Lin Yu learned that these threads were threads of faith, and the energy transmitted was the goblin's faith in him. Faith is loyalty. As a fervent believer, how could they harm him? Based on facts, Lin Yu could completely trust these goblin believers. At least, that's what Myriad World's floating island answered. After eating a few bites of the beast meat, Lin Yu said to the goblin warrior standing by, drooling and seemingly waiting for orders, "If you're hungry, go roast some meat to eat. This is what you've earned through your labor." The goblin warrior immediately knelt down on the ground, trembling with excitement. "Praise you, great and merciful Lord of Holy Light. May your glory forever protect us humble goblins. Go." Lin Yu waved his hand. Was he merciful? No, he was just doing what an overlord should do. He not only wanted to feed his subjects, but also provide them with good houses. If the subjects were not satisfied with the life in the territory, how could the territory develop? The territory only has 3 wooden houses, which can't accommodate more than 60 goblins. We need to build more wooden houses. After all, there will be more troops and subjects in the future. To develop the territory, such basic buildings were indispensable. But according to the rules of the floating island, no matter what kind of building was constructed, blueprints had to be used. What Lin Yu lacked the most now were blueprints. And just when Lin Yu was feeling troubled, a monster kill prompt appeared, brightening his eyes. Your angels Vina, Aida, Sally, have killed a level 7 overlord monster, silver horn snake, and obtained 10 gold coins, a piece of leather armor, and a blueprint. This is a boss drop. Not only did I get a blueprint, but also equipment. Lin Yu was overjoyed. It seemed that he got what he wished for. Lin Yu immediately contacted Aida and asked her to bring back the leaked blueprints. During this period, Lin Yu ate barbecue while checking the information about the wooden house. Wooden house. Level. Low level. Capacity. 10 people. Next level. Middle level wooden house. Upgrade requirements. 200 units of wood, 100 units of stone. I don't have any reserves of wood and stone in my territory, but I can take food to the platform and trade with other professionals. If that doesn't work, I'll send the goblins from my territory to gather stones and cut wood. Let's see what blueprints Aida and the others have leaked before making a decision. Lin Yu didn't have to wait long. After about 5 minutes, a white figure flew from the distant sky, holy and beautiful. It was two-winged angel Aida. Lord Overlord. After a moment, Aida descended from the sky and respectfully handed Lin Yu a blueprint, a piece of leather armor, and more than 20 shiny gold coins. Lin Yu immediately asked, "Did anyone get injured when killing the level 7 Overlord monster?" Aida shook her head and said, "Lord Overlord, rest assured, no one was injured. Even with my personal strength, I can easily fight against that Overlord monster. The three of us teamed up and killed it effortlessly." These words made Lin Yu deeply understand what a unique Apex level unit was. A level 5 two-winged angel could contend with a level 7 Overlord monster. That's an angel. That's good. Regardless, safety must be prioritized when going out hunting. We understand, Lord Overlord. Aida respectfully obeyed, and her eyes were filled with gratitude. Lin Yu then led Aida into the hall of the Overlord behind him. After summoning the angel Vina before, he still had 27 gold coins left. This time, Aida brought back 24 gold coins, totaling 51 gold coins, just enough to summon another two-winged angel. Soon, the summoning was complete. Another beautiful two-winged angel with a balanced figure appeared in front of Lin Yu. The new angel's appearance was exactly the same as Aida and the others. Wearing a silver-white battle armor, holding a golden flame-burning angel sword, and with a pair of snow-white angel wings on her back, she was not only beautiful and holy but also had a heroic posture. Lin Yu named the new angel Xiao Shi. Without wasting any time, Lin Yu had Xiao Shi join the angel team and go hunting with Aida and the others. After the two angels left, Lin Yu muttered to himself, "The number of angels keeps increasing, and naming them will become troublesome in the future." Lin Yu could tell that every angel he named was filled with genuine excitement and joy. They regarded it as the greatest honor. But Lin Yu was not a naming machine after all. His inventory was limited, and it was impossible to name every angel one by one. Not to mention whether there were enough names. Just remembering them all was a problem. Lin Yu shook his head and stopped thinking about it. Then he took out the blueprints and leather armor handed over by Aida. The blueprints and equipment dropped by monsters can be in two states, identified and unidentified. Blueprints and equipment in the unidentified state need to be identified before they can be used. Generally, such blueprints and equipment are of high level. The blueprints and leather armor in Lin Yu's hands were just ordinary, because with just one glance, Lin Yu could see their information. Territory building blueprint. Type, warehouse. Usable times, 1 time. Construction requirements, 300 units of wood, 200 units of stone, 50 units of iron ore. Special reminder, the warehouse is an essential building for the development of the territory. Its function is to store your territory's resources. Food stored in the warehouse will not spoil. Snake scale. Type, defensive equipment. Defense level, level 7. Durability, 100. Special effect, can deter ordinary snakes with a level not exceeding level 7. Introduction, this is a leather armor made from the skin of an overlord level silverhorn snake. It has impressive defensive power. After wearing it, you can move freely among snake groups. After all, it's equipment dropped by an overlord-level monster, so it's not bad. It's not just not bad, it's already excellent. You see, the defense level of the snake scale is as high as level 7. The adventurers have just arrived on the floating island, and most of them are still at level 0. There are very few adventurers who have reached level 1. Equipment that can match a level 7 adventurer can't be considered bad at all. At this stage, this snake scale is in the supreme grade of the supreme grade. When a combat-oriented adventurer wears it, they can easily dominate the wilderness. Ordinary low-level monsters can't even break through its defense. Not to mention, it also has a special effect of deterring ordinary snake-like monsters. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call it a divine weapon for newcomers. It's the blueprint that makes Lin Yu unsure whether to be delighted or disappointed. Because what he was hoping for was the blueprint for a wooden house, to build more wooden houses for the goblins in his territory to live in. But this blueprint is for a warehouse. Delight, because the value of the warehouse blueprint is higher than that of the wooden house blueprint. With a warehouse, he can stockpile food and other resources, so they won't spoil before being consumed. So the role of the warehouse is still significant. Then, Lin Yu put away the warehouse blueprint. As for the snake scale, he hung it on the island's trading platform. Supreme grade equipment, snake scale, click to view detailed information. Auction time, 24 hours later. Equipment instant kill price, 3,000 gold coins. Equipment owner, Lin Yu. The instant kill price of 3,000 gold coins is completely sky-high. Among all the adventurers on the island, there is no one who can afford it. Putting it on the trading platform will naturally attract attention. And this is exactly Lin Yu's intention. He is creating a buzz. Those who want this supreme-grade equipment will naturally start saving money and resources consciously, waiting for the equipment auction after 24 hours. By then, the snake scale will be able to fetch a higher price. Of course, if someone bids 3,000 gold coins to instantly kill the snake scale within 24 hours, Lin Yu will be even happier. With 3,000 gold coins, he can summon 62 winged angels. At that time, he will sweep through everything. Compared to that, what is a mere level 7 equipment? With the listing of the snake scale, the chat channels on the island immediately buzzed with excitement. The sky-high price of 3,000 gold coins for an instant kill made this equipment stand out on the platform. Anyone who enters the trading platform can see it at a glance. Oh my god, it's actually a level 7 equipment. We've only been on Floating Island for a few hours, and someone has already dropped such a high-level equipment? God, I'm still a level 0 newbie. Don't be sad, I'm also level 0. Everyone knows that it's difficult to level up on Floating Island. To reach level 1, you have to kill hundreds of low-level monsters. It's impossible for most professionals on the island to be anything other than level 0. Indeed, even if there are professionals who have reached level 1, they are few and far between. I just want to know how a level 7 equipment like this dropped. Who knows? Most importantly, this is not just an ordinary equipment, it's a supreme grade equipment with special effects. At this stage, this kind of defense equipment is definitely a divine weapon. Especially for combat professionals, its value is no less than randomly obtaining an apex level unit. The owner of the equipment is Lin Yu. But who is Lin Yu? I don't know, but he must be a big shot. Maybe he's another overlord who randomly obtained an apex level unit. The appearance of the snake scale shook the entire floating island. Countless professionals gathered in the island's chat channels, discussing it fervently. As the snake scale incident continued to ferment, more and more professionals became aware of Lin Yu's name, speculating that he was an apex level overlord. But at this moment, the already famous Golden Behemoth Overlord appeared on the island. He sent a message to the chat channel, instantly overturning the professional speculation about Lin Yu's identity. Lin Yu is most likely just a combat professional with better luck. The probability of him being an apex level overlord is not high because the initial level of an apex level unit is 4, and it's impossible to kill a level 7 wild monster unless he has a large number of apex level units. But the problem is, Recruiting one Apex level unit costs 50 gold coins. When we first arrived on Floating Island, who had so many gold coins to recruit a large number of Apex level units? So I conclude that Lin Yu is just lucky. He probably picked up this snake scale while hunting in the wild. The leader makes a good point. This supreme grade snake scale must have been picked up by Lin Yu. It couldn't have been dropped by killing monsters. At this stage, even our leader would find it difficult to hunt level 7 wild monsters. Agreed. Damn, I thought we had encountered an even more powerful Apex level overlord. It seems that our leader from the Hall of Kings is still the most awesome, with the appearance of the golden behemoth who can compete on the island. The leader is invincible. By the way, Lin Yu is too black. Anyone who spends 3,000 gold coins to buy his equipment is definitely an idiot. The person above understands nothing. It's not that 3,000 gold coins is too much, but that no professional can come up with that much gold coins right now. If I had 3,000 gold coins, I would have snatched it up long ago. You're right, this snake scale is a divine weapon. Wearing the snake scale greatly enhances defense and ensures survival. It also allows you to hunt wild monsters without worry and quickly increase your own level. Compared to personal safety and level advancement, 3,000 gold coins are nothing. A special defense equipment with a level as high as 7, it won't need to be replaced for at least 1 or 2 months. If I didn't lack gold coins, let alone 3,000, I could easily handle 30,000. Those who understand the value of this equipment are people with foresight. With these words, there were even more people praising this snake scale, indirectly. This indirectly affected Lin Yu's fame, almost catching up to the young overlord, who possessed the Apex level unit, Golden Behemoth. Of course, there were also many professionals who were interested in the snake scale, especially those combat professionals. They didn't have units and could only rely on their own strength to fight against monsters in the wilderness. Naturally, they were eager to have such a supreme grade defense equipment. At the same time, there were a large number of professionals applying to be Lin Yu's friends. Various private messages kept coming in. Some even offered a price of 50 million and a villa to trade for the snake scale with Lin Yu, and stated that the handover would take place after returning to the Blue Star. Of course, there were also those who resorted to threats. Claiming to be an Apex level overlord, they had already remembered Lin Yu's name, saying that mountains remain green and rivers continue to flow. In short, there were endless means by which certain people attempted to obtain this snake scale. As for these private messages, Lin Yu would block one after seeing one and reject all friend requests. He didn't want his ears to be constantly buzzing. The publicity is very successful. We will auction the snake scale tomorrow. If the price is satisfactory, we will sell it. If not, we will let it go. In any case, we want to maximize the value of the snake scale. As he spoke, Lin Yu casually closed the island chat channel and continued browsing the trading platform beside him. He was preparing to exchange a batch of wood and stone for meat to build a warehouse. Actually, Lin Yu had also considered equipping the snake scale himself. But in the end, he chose to give up. Firstly, before the territory reached the level of a town, he would be safe as long as he stayed inside the territory. As someone who didn't need to participate in battles, he didn't need to wear equipment for the time being. Secondly, with the combat power of Aida and the others, it wouldn't be difficult for them to obtain a second snake scale. Lastly, and most importantly, selling the snake scale and exchanging it for gold coins to summon angels would maximize its value. When the size of the angel squad expanded, would there still be a need to worry about not having equipment to wear? A morning has passed, and there are indeed many more items on the trading platform. Among them, the most are wood and stone needed by overlords, followed by iron ore. In addition, there are also many food items listed. Lin Yu found that many professionals selling these items were looking to trade for gold coins. This was because gold coins had a higher value. Overlords needed gold coins to summon units, which meant that gold coins were very important and would never depreciate at any time. With gold coins in hand, they could also exchange them for whatever items they wanted at any time. In addition, some professionals are also exchanging resources. This is because the terrain and environment of the floating island are not uniform. There are not only jungles but also deserts, grasslands, and deserts, and different wilderness resources correspondingly. The differences in the wilderness environment and resources gave Lin Yu the opportunity to barter. Without hesitation, he immediately listed the meat obtained from the goblin warriors on the trading platform in exchange for the wood, stone, and iron ore he needed. In a grassland area of the floating island, a young man had a gloomy expression on his face. Damn it! Rejecting my proposal is one thing, but to actually block me. The young man was quite angry. After all, he was an overlord with an apex-level unit and also the leader of the prestigious Hall of Kings. How could he be so despised by someone?
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.